Hello everyone, myself Sai Prasad, a lecturer in Allahabad High School and the Junior College. Welcome to a series of the lectures of Intermediate Second Year Maths A. We started a discussion with our chapter Permutation and Combination. What did we learn? We started with the basics of permutation, then we did a few problems of all varieties of permutation. Then we did combinations and a few problems on that, right? Fine. Today, let us discuss few more theoretical problems for combination things. Okay, see here. The first question for today is 10 persons are sitting around a circle. In how many ways can 2 persons out of them can be selected so that they are not adjacent to each other? Okay, there are 10 people out of which we have to select 2. Obviously, it is 10C2, 10. What if it is arranged within the circle? Then let us see what happens here. Now, given 10% everything, so number of ways of selecting how many people? 2 out of 10 persons is 10C2. Isn't it? What is 10C2? 10C2 is nothing but 10 factorial by 8 factorial into 2 factorial, that is nothing but 10, 9, 8 factorial by 8 factorial into 2 factorial. These both will get cancelled. 2 ones are 2 5s, it is 45. Is it? Fine. Next, since it is given in the circular way, obviously he is telling that no two are adjacent to each other. Then remember that all the persons, since it is in circular way, all these 10 persons will be like one will be adjacent to other. So let us remove one place in between. So let me see here. The number of ways of selecting or else arranging around a circle is 10. 10 places, 10 people around the circle. So therefore, the number of ways selecting a 2 person so that no 2 are adjacent to each other. Okay, that is nothing but 45 minus 10, which is 35 is the answer. In these many ways we can arrange or else we can select 2 people out of whole circle. Is it clear? Shall we move to the next problem? Let's do. Look at the question here. He is telling that find the number of ways of selecting a cricket team. Total of 11 players, from which 7 batsmen, 6 bowlers, such that there will be at least 5 bowlers in team. Okay, at least 5 in the sense, how many bowlers do we have? 6. So we have to make 2 sets. One is with the 5 bowlers and one more is with 6 bowlers. Okay, now see here, he gave total number of batsmen. We need how many? 11. Is it done? Next, total number of players it is. Total number of players. Total number of batsmen 7. Number of bowlers 6. Is it done? Fine. Now we have to take 2 cases. First case is number of bowlers is 5. He said at least 5. It can be 5 or 6. So let us take first 5. Then what will be number of batsmen? Number of batsmen will be how much? Total we need 11. So still we need 6 batsmen. So we can take 6. He didn't specify about batsmen. He told only total people we need 11. If bowlers is 5, obviously batsmen should be 6. So what is the number of ways in selecting bowlers? So number of ways of selecting bowlers is total there are 6 bowlers, out of which we have to select 5. So it will be like 6C5. Is it right? Then how do we select batsman now? Here number of ways of selecting batsman. How much is it? We have 7 batsmen, we have to select 6, that is 7C6. Okay, so finally, therefore, number of players with 5 bowlers is 6C5 and 7C6. Is it right? So just multiply and write the answer. What is 6C5? 6 factorial by 6 minus 5 is 1 factorial into 5 factorial, which is 6. 7 factorial by 7 minus 6 is 1 factorial into 6 factorial. Here it is 6 into 7, that is 42. Is it right? Fine. Next thing. Here we have taken bowlers as 5. Now let us take number of bowlers as 6. He told at least 5. So it can go up to 6 because we ourselves have only 6 bowlers. Right? Fine. Then what about number of batsmen? Number of batsmen is total is 11. 6 itself is a bowlers list. So we should have 5 batsmen. Is it right? Hope we are not getting confused. So number of ways of selecting bowlers in this case is 6C6 is 1, because out of 6 we are selecting all 6, so it is 1. Next, similarly, number of ways of selecting batsmen is, out of 7 we have to select 5, that is 7C5, which is 7 factorial by 7 minus 5 is 2 factorial into 5 factorial. Right? This is 7 into 6 into 5 factorial by 2 into 5 factorial. These both will cancel. 2 1s are 2 3s are 7 3s are 21. Is it right? So therefore number of ways of selecting players with 6 bowlers is 21. Is it right? Is it not easy? Here we have taken at least 5 bowlers, we have taken 5 first and 6 next. With only 5 bowlers, we will get the number of players, selection of players will be like 42. This is number of ways of selecting players. With the 5 bowlers is 42. And here number of bowlers is 6. Then the number of ways of selecting players with 6 bowlers is 21. Is it clear? Shall we move on to the next problem? Let's do. Look at the question here. He is asking, find number of ways of forming a committee of 5 members. It is almost similar to this cricket team ka question. 5 members is total number maximum. Out of 6 Indians, 5 Americans. So that always Indians should be in majority count. Okay. The number is 5 and 6. So we need only 5 people out of those all. In this 5, I can take the combination of 0 and 5. Right? This Indians are more. Next, 1 and 4 possible. 2 and 3 possible. Next, 3 and 2, is it possible? No, because Indians cannot be less. So we can take 3 cases: 0 5, 1 4 and 2 3. Done. So let us do the same now. Now total number of members is 5, right? Then number of Indians How many? 6. Number of Americans is 5. Is it right? Done. Now the first case is, let me take 0 Americans and 5 Indians. 0 Americans and 5 Indians. Right? So, number of ways of selecting 5 Indians from, how many Indians are there? 6 is nothing but 6c 5, that is nothing but 6 factorial by 5 factorial into 1 factorial, which is 6. Is it right? So, however, there are no Americans, so obviously it will be like 6. Clear? Fine. Second case, 1 American, 4 Indians. 1 American, 4 Indians. Now tell me, number of ways of selecting only 1 American from how many? 5. That is 5C1, which is 5. Yes or no? Fine. Next, number of ways of selecting 4 Indians from how many? 6 people. It is 6C4. What is the formula? That is 6 factorial by 2 factorial into 4 factorial. 6, 5, 4 factorial by 2 into 4 factorial. These both will get cancelled. 2 ones are 2 3s are. This is 15. Therefore, number of ways with 1 American and 4 Indians is 15 into 5, that is 75. Yes or no? 2 cases are done. One is with no American, 5 Indians. Second case is 1 American, 4 Indians. Third case will be 2 Americans, 3 Indians. So, my third case will be 2 Americans, 3 Indians. Okay. So, number of ways of selecting 2 Americans. How many? Out of 5 we are going to select only 2. That will be 5C2. What is the formula? 5 factorial by 3 factorial into 2 factorial. That is 5, 4, 3 factorial by 3 factorial into 2 factorial. These both will get cancelled. 2 ones are 2 2s are. 5 2s are is 10. Done? Fine. Next, number of ways of selecting how many? 3 Indians is out of 6 we are going to select 3. That will be like 6C3, which is 6 factorial by 3 factorial into 3 factorial. That is 6, 5, 4, 3 factorial by 3 factorial into 3 factorial. These both will get cancelled. 3 factorial is 6. 6, 6 will get cancelled. I will get it as 20. Okay. Therefore, how many ways we can select? Therefore, total number of ways of selecting 2 Americans and 3 Indians is 200. Is it nice? Yes or no? But the main thing we have to remember is, how do we segregate the number of people into this? Right? Is there any chance of getting more? 0, 5, 1, 4 and 2, 3. If I increase the number of Americans here, this will be reduced, which in compare this will be less than this. So it is not possible for this question. Clear? Is it okay? Shall we move on to the next problem? Let's do. Look at the next question here. He is asking us, a candidate is required to answer 6 out of 10 questions, remember, which are divided into 2 groups A and B. Each question carries 5 questions. I mean each group carries 5 questions. There are 5 in group A, 5 in group B, out of which we have to attempt 6 questions. Then he is not permitted to attempt more than 4 questions from either group. Okay, the maximum is 4 you can attempt. Find the number of ways in which he can choose 6 questions. Okay, let us say if he take 4 here, then he can attempt only 2 from here. Maximum of 4 means he can also attempt 3 here, obviously. So 3 here and 3 here. He can also attempt 2 here, it can be 4. Can I write 1 and 5 here? No. Why? Because he cannot attempt more than 4 in a same group. Right? So we can write these 3 cases. Is it right? Fine. Now see here. There are number of questions to be attempted. How many? 6. Done. Next, number of questions in group A is 5. Number of questions in group B is again 5. Right? Now the first session, set A, 4 from group A and 2 from group B. So what can be done? For 4, number of ways of selecting 4 from 5 is 5C4, isn't it? Obviously, number of ways of selecting 2 from 5, that is 5C2. Is it right? Therefore, total number of ways of selecting 4 from A and 2 from B is nothing but 5C4 into 5C2. What is 5C4? 5. Yes or no? 5 factorial by 5 minus 4 is 1 factorial into 4 factorial. You can write it here. 1 factorial into 4 factorial, which is 5. Here 5 factorial by 3 factorial into 2 factorial, that is nothing but 5 into 4 by 2. 2 ones are 2 twos, which is 10. Therefore this is 5 into 10, that is 50. Is it right? Second case, 3 in A, 3 in B. 3 from A and 3 from B. Okay, so number of ways of selecting 3 from A is 5C3. Next, number of ways of selecting 3 from B, again 5C3. What is 5C3? 5C3 is nothing but 5 factorial by 2 factorial into 3 factorial, that is 5 4 3 factorial by 2 into 3 factorial. Both will get cancelled, 2 ones are 2 2s, which is 10. Both are 10. So therefore number of ways of selecting 3 from A and 3 from B is 10 into 10, which is 100 ways, right? And the third case, 2 and 4. Third case is 2 from A and 4 from B. This will be number of ways selecting from A is 5C2. Is it right? Next, number of ways selecting from B is 5C4. What is 5C2? 10. 5C4 is 5. This is 10. This is 5. If I multiply both, I will obviously get it as 50. Therefore, number of ways of selecting 2 from A and 4 from B is 50. Right? Now tell me what is the total number of ways. Therefore, total number of ways of attempting 6 questions out of 10 will be 50 plus 100 plus 50. How much is it? 200. Is it right? What we did? There are 6 to be attempted. Find A, find B. So that both should not exceed 4 and the total should be only 5. We have selected 3 things. 4 from group A and 2 from group B. 3 from group A and group B. 2 from A and 4 from B. We took these 3 kinds and we found out the number of ways for each thing and finally we added. Clear? In the last questions also we can do the same thing. Is it fine? By this problem we can conclude the chapter Permutation and Combinations. What did we learn? A permutation is a kind of just arranging the elements irrespective of their case and everything. Right? We did non-repeating, repeating and also in circular permutation. Then we did most of the theoretical and basic practical problems of all those. Then we started with the combinations. In the combinations we had this kind of groups. One depends on other. So that the total number does not exceed. Isn't it? This kind of questions and the basics of NCR and all the problems of that we have did. Is it clear? This is for today. Let us meet in the next session with the new chapter of 2A. Thank you.